Hello and welcome to the Lorna Marie Fitness Podcast, the show where we talk all things fitness, health, mindset and lifestyle to help you become fitter, healthier and happier. I help busy people who lack time, motivation and self-belief to look and feel great again. If you want to work with me, head over to lornamariefitness.co.uk, but for now, enjoy this episode. Good morning, squaddies. Let me know if you're there or if you're watching this on replay. Do a hashtag replay and then I know you've seen it, I know you've watched it. Now, oh my goodness me, we have just got back from hosting the retreat in Greece and I can't tell you how incredible it was. I don't know if you've seen some of the footage that I've been posting on Facebook and Instagram, but it completely and utterly outlived my expectations, and my expectations were very high. I knew it was going to be really good. I knew we had some incredible people coming along as well, but I didn't know it was going to be that good. It was like a dream. It really, really was. So it was that great. We are looking at booking again next year. I'm just in talks with the hotel about sorting everything out, getting a date in the diary, and then I'll be releasing that probably over the weekend or next week, so do look out for that. It is going to be mega. It's going to be so good. And if you missed out, we have a half-day retreat in the UK in November, so do get booked on. The deadline to get booked on for that one is in a couple of weeks' time, and that is going to be at the Centre Garden in Austin. We're going to do half a day spa and like a yoga, a real restorative yoga grounding session, and that also includes some brunch. So you're welcome to bring anybody along to that. They don't need to be a squaddy, by the way. So you can bring anyone you want at all. And then we've got the yoga and vibes session. The deadline to book that is the end of this week, team. That is going to be a week on Sunday. So it's at Revs in Hockley. It's going to be, again, a chilled session to do some like yoga flows with me. Then you've got Sham on the DJ decks. He's going to be playing some chill set music. And I've teamed up with Leah at the Creative Mums Club, who's also a squaddy, and she's going to be providing a little goodie bag, lots of little goodies from local businesses around Nottingham. Definitely do come along to that. Again, anybody can come along. So if you've got a friend or a partner that wants to do it, get them involved. There's so much happening at the moment. And of course, it's Menopause Awareness Month. So I've got a menopause workshop at the very end of the month at the Magna Carta in Loudon. It's cake, coffee, and then we'll be talking all about how to manage your menopause symptoms holistically, so through your diet and through exercise. So bring a notepad and pen to that one, but make sure you get booked on first. All of what I'm talking about right now can be booked on the website. If you go to lornamariefitness.co.uk and you click face-to-face, it's all right there. And finally, before we get into the questions, this Monday is the final intake for the 6-week course, which is how everybody joins us, joins the family, joins the squad. It's on Monday. So if you've got any friends or family that want to come and join us, this is the last chance now before next year. So do give them a little poke, give them a little prod if they keep going on about joining and they haven't. Because as you know, they'll never ever look back. It's just, we have the best family. Okay, on to the questions. I think that's all my notices for now. But if you've got any questions on what I've said there, or as we're going through the chat, please feel free to stop me as well. And I hope you enjoyed the new Stronger this morning, gang. New Stronger, new yoga skate this week. Woo woo. It's going to be great. Okay, question number 1. Can you explain more about the Mediterranean diet and why it might be good for menopausal women? I absolutely can. So the Mediterranean diet, there's some evidence, or quite a bit of evidence to say that if you're going to do any sort of diet, the Mediterranean diet is a good one to do if you are menopausal or postmenopausal or perimenopausal. So basically, it is good for anyone, but if you're sort of getting to that age, 45 plus, you want to be thinking about having more of a Mediterranean diet. And the reason for this is because as you hit the menopause, or even as we age in general, our heart health, our brain health and our bone health become ever more important, and the Mediterranean diet is good for all of those things. So I'll talk about each one in turn. So your heart health, when you go through the menopause, your body stores fat in a different area, in a different way. So you become more of an apple shape, if you like. Now, the way that we store fat is due to a difference in, it's due to a decline in estrogen, but a change in your hormone basically. The hormones are being disrupted, and therefore you deposit fat, or your body holds fat in different areas that it didn't always used to prefer holding it. So we need to think about our heart health in relation to this. Now, the Mediterranean diet is good for your heart health because it focuses on a lot of whole foods, and it focuses on a lot of healthy fats as well, such as extra virgin olive oil, lots of fibre. So you've got your legumes in there, you've got your chickpeas, you've got your whole wheat kind of pastas or varieties, and also a lot of antioxidants which prevent the body, they basically prevent free radicals. So you've got your berries, your oranges, and things like that. So that's why it's good for your heart health. Your healthy fats, your fibrous foods, your antioxidants. It's also very good for your bone health, which, as we go through the menopause, you have that decline in estrogen, we really need to look after our bones. So that will be in terms of strength training, because osteoporosis, it becomes more real. We need to think about strength training, and we also need to think about getting calcium into the diet. So the Mediterranean diet is really, really rich in calcium, it is rich in magnesium, it is rich in your vitamin K, which all help with your bones and bone strength. So your leafy greens like your spinach, you've got your nuts in there, you've got Greek yogurt, which is really, really high in calcium, and things like feta cheese, they're slightly lower in lactose. So if you find that you're a little bit lactose intolerant, for example, or your body doesn't tolerate dairy very well, they're actually really great. As long as you're not getting Greek style, okay? Greek style is not Greek. Greek yogurt and your different types of cheeses. So like I said, like feta, mozzarellas and things like that. Really good for your bone health. It is also great for weight management. And as we kind of hit that menopause sort of period of time, you may find that you get midsection weight gain. It's not just due to the reason that your body prefers to store its fat there, but it's also due to a decline in muscle mass, which, it can be if you don't do anything about it. Estrogen goes down, muscle mass disappears if you don't do anything about it. It declines exponentially. So therefore, it can be difficult to control your weight because your metabolism is directly linked to your muscle mass. So therefore, the greater your lean muscle mass, the higher your metabolism. So what you need to be doing for that, just as a little side note, is making sure you have enough protein, which the Mediterranean diet is full of, lots of fish, lots of lean proteins, and also making sure you're strength training. So do those two things. But it's also really good for your weight management, not just in terms of the fact that it's high in protein, lean proteins and fish, but it's also full of foods that are going to keep you fuller for longer, really satiating foods like your whole grains, like your fibrous foods. So that is why it can be really good for weight management. And it's also higher in your healthy fats. Now, fat isn't something that we need to avoid. It's essential for the body and actually keeps you feeling fuller for longer, depending on the kind of foods that you're having. The Mediterranean diet is less processed, and it's all more about savouring the food. So there's a culture behind it. When you take your time, you taste your food, you're more mindful when you eat. It keeps you fuller as well. But it's also the fact that it's whole food varieties. You're making things from scratch. You're appreciating your food more. It's not quick processed food that doesn't fill you up as much. And then just another couple of quick ones that I've got a huge list of things that it's good for, but let's just do two more. Inflammation, so your omega-3s, oily fish, and they're also very, very good for your brain health, which is what we spoke about at the beginning. And like I said before, those antioxidants, really, really great for inflammation, and things like olive oils. And finally, digestion. So I've already said, because it's high in fibre, it's great to improve your digestion as well, as long as you're drinking enough water with it. I'm just laughing because if you really, really up your fibre and don't drink enough water, then we all know what's going to happen, right? But there you have it. That is why a Mediterranean diet is great. So you're thinking like your oily fish, your calcium-rich food, your leafy greens, your whole grains, all those kind of foods, basically, for your heart, your brain and your bones, your weight management, and I think just having more of an appreciation and being more mindful about food in the first place. So that's why it's good. and it's very tasty. After this Greek retreat, I feel like I have turned into either an olive or a piece of feta, honestly. Question 2. Why do you take your rings off for stronger? I take my rings off so I don't damage them. So when I do stronger, I hold a barbell, it's a metal barbell, and I don't want to basically disshape or unshape. Is disshape a word? Unshape my rings. I don't want to do that. And also, this is just a side note, but I had these little balls fitted on the inside of my ring, just to make it fit better. So it turns out, I didn't know this, let me know if anyone else has this. I've got really big knuckles, and I don't know why, big knuckles, and then it kind of goes in. So if I got the ring over my knuckle but didn't adjust it in any way, like put those little balls on the back, they've got a name by the way, I've forgotten what it is though, it would just slide off all the time. So yeah, you learn something new. I never even knew that was a thing. Never even knew that I had big knuckles. There we have it. But that's why I just don't want to ruin my rings, and also it can be a bit painful. Please can you advise about what to eat as a snack before a workout? I've had an issue with low blood pressure crashes after working out. It makes me feel awful, so I want to avoid that in the future without compromising the healthier and lower calorie eating plan. Okay, so you need to make sure you're eating enough. If you're having blood sugar crashes, you're not having enough, or you're not having the foods that are going to keep your energy sustained for a period of time, for long enough. So what you want to be doing in these circumstances is, one, making sure that you're having foods throughout the day that are high in protein, that keep you satiated, and you're having enough carbohydrates as well. What I would do is say, it depends on you as a person, but it also depends on what kind of workout you're going to do, and how far away is your workout. If my workout was about half an hour away, I'd probably have like a banana or some toast or something like that, something that's going to be quick digesting, give me a little boost of energy, carbohydrate hit. If it was about an hour before, I'd be looking at trying to get some protein and some carbohydrates in there as a pre-workout. So I'd probably go for something like peanut butter and banana on toast. Or I would go for something like a small bowl of cereal, or a small sandwich, or half a sandwich, or a wrap. What I tend to do is have like a small bowl of porridge as well. I'd probably have that like at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half before, depending on what you're doing. Like if you're going to do a workout where you're jumping around, obviously you want to make sure that it's been properly digested beforehand. But you've got things like different types of fruits, so again, depending on how far away your workout is, and also the intensity of your workout and how long it's going to be. So for example, if I was going to go on, a long run, I'd be making sure that a few hours before, so 2-3 hours before, I'm having a really balanced meal. And then maybe just before a long run, like 45 minutes before, half an hour before, I might have like an extra little boost, like a banana or something like that. But you do want to make sure you are fueling your workouts properly, particularly if you are finding you're getting these sugar crashes. And then look at your meals. Are your meals balanced enough? Have you got a balance of protein, carbohydrates and fats in the meals? And then in between times, these little snacks as ideas to just give you that little pre-workout boost. Because we want to go into our workout having energy so that we can get the most out of it, right? We can get that great output by putting in a good input, something decent, some effort. Other things that you could have would be, I don't know if I said it already, like Greek yogurt, honey, berries, maybe with a little bit of granola. You could have a handful of nuts. Just be careful on portion sizes of nuts. But I would be going more for, if your workout's going to be quite close, making sure you're getting some carbohydrates in there. And then, like I said, if your workout's a little bit further away, focusing on some protein and carbs, just make sure you get a really good mix. Okay, I hope that's useful. Also, things like hard-boiled eggs. They can be a good little pre-workout, but the ones that I would normally go for, like me personally, and it's what my body digests well. So not everyone is the same, but it's what my body digests. If it's in the morning, like before an early workout, I always have something to eat. Not everybody does, but I prefer to. I'll have something small. I either have a banana or an apple with a coffee, and then I would have like sometimes maybe half my breakfast and the other half as soon as I finish. And then I'd be afterwards having something to replenish my energy. So I'll be thinking about getting the protein in, getting the carbohydrates back in. So that might be when I have a breakfast, for example, like a bowl of porridge or some eggs on toast. If it's later on in the day, like if it's between lunch and dinner, again, you could almost have like a mini breakfast. You could have a small bowl of cereal, bowl of porridge, a wrap, a sandwich, or some, like I said, Greek yogurt with granola. Just experiment and see how you feel, and see how you feel in your workouts as well. Right, next up, I hope that's useful though, and let me know what you guys do. What do you have as a pre-workout? Next up, please can you advise RE coffee, I don't know if it's RE or RE, coffee and workouts. I do drink a lot of decaf coffee and always avoided coffee before working out, but I've been recently told that having coffee shortly before exercise might not be a bad thing. Thoughts? Yeah, it's not a bad thing at all. I have coffee before I work out, and I have it in the morning. I try not to have any coffee like towards the end of the afternoon, evening, because it can disrupt your sleep. But it depends on what you're used to, and do you normally have coffee? And if you normally have decaf, then I wouldn't be saying, oh yeah, have 3 coffees a day. It depends what you're used to. And also, is your workout, is it going to be like 6 o'clock in the evening? And if it is, if you have a coffee before it, will that affect your sleep? But it can be great for alertness. It can be great for giving you a little boost, so therefore you can put more into your workouts as well. Downside is sometimes for some people it can cause like digestive issues, and if it's later on in the day, it might affect how you sleep. But again, it depends on the person. But yeah, absolutely nothing wrong with it. Bit of coffee isn't bad for you, and I have it. So yeah, I'd highly recommend a little coffee. Do it and then see how you get on. I just got a message. I thought it was on the live. Anna said, getting back into regular exercising after a 2-week break, sharing your win Wednesday. Yeah, well done, Anna. Well done. Great to see you back on it. And also, everyone, get your wins out there. I love seeing the Wednesday wins. Question number 5. I am focusing on strength again this month. I'm considering getting a barbell. What's yours, Lorna? We could do with buying 2 though, so I may need to go down the used route. Oh gosh, there's so many options out there. There really are so many options. And I would say using a barbell over hand weights is a really great idea, because you can put more load on there, so you can work on progressive overload. You can really, really work strength as opposed to using hand weights, which are okay, but you're not going to get as much out of it as you could. So that's why I would say get a barbell. And also it's good for symmetry purposes. So quite often, if you're doing things with hand weights, the body's not perfectly symmetrical, is it? You probably find that if you're lifting overhead, one hand goes before the other, and sometimes it can make some of the moves a bit more injury prone. It really depends. But I would say getting a barbell is a great idea. I advise everyone to do it for stronger and hit with weights for sure. It's an investment, isn't it? It's not like you need to renew it every year. So I've had mine for years now. Definitely get one. Put it on your Christmas list, or just get it anyway. Treat yourself. I have put some suggestions onto. So if you go to the members area, there's a button that's called equipment. I think it's called equipment needed, something like that. Let me just have a look. I'm just going to go to member home. Am I logged in? Yes. Okay. Member home. The button is called equipment guide. There you go. So if you go on the equipment guide, I'm just having a look at it now. There's all sorts on there that I suggest. But you've got the barbells on there as well. Studio pump weights, dumbbells. But I would say, yeah, like I said, the pump weights are going to be the best ones. Faux show. Let me know how you get on. Final question. My watch the other day said I was working at either an anaerobic or aerobic level. Can't remember which one. What's the difference? And when working out with one, do you want to try and work at? And when working out with one, do you want to try and work at? Okay, I don't know if I'm reading that wrong, but basically what I'll explain is the difference between the two and why you want to include them both kind of in your workout regime. So your aerobic exercise is where you're using oxygen as a primary energy source, and it is going to be in your things like your power walking, your aerobics, your combats, where you're lifting your heart rate. and it is great for improving your cardiovascular fitness. It gives you those feel-good endorphins. It's just a great way of keeping fit. So it's certainly got a place in that aerobic sort of level. Anaerobic is where you are not using oxygen as your primary source of energy. You're using your body's stored glycogen, which, if I just quickly break it down, when you eat food like carbohydrates, it gives your body glucose, which is energy, and then your body stores any extra glucose as glycogen that it can use later for if it needs it. So when you're going to be working anaerobically, and that would be in things like HIIT, so your really high intensity things, and they're really good workouts for improving your power, and you can improve your fitness fast in those types of workouts. They've both got a place though, and they should both be included in an all-round workout program. So I would say do a bit of both. And watches are great, and I would use your watch as a means of comparison and seeing how you're working out in, compared to your last workout. And that's what I use my watch for as well. But they're not 100% accurate, so don't fully just go off exactly what it's saying. The science isn't quite there yet. But they are really good to just sort of get a bit of an idea of where you're at and what sort of level of intensity you're working at and things like that. So it can be really, really useful. Anyway, team, they're all the questions for today. I hope that was handy. Let me know your thoughts. Please pop in the comments, and also let me know if you've got any questions on anything that I've been talking about. And I will see you tomorrow morning, bright and early. We're back for our 6:30s. Get back into good routine. So I'll see you there, or I'll see you at 9:30. And make sure you get yourself booked on to either Yoga Vibes, which is a week on Sunday, that half-day retreat that we are running, because I know the reason we put it on is a lot of people couldn't come to the one abroad, so we said, okay, we'll do a UK one, so then you've got that option as well. And that doesn't mean to say that if you came to the abroad one, you can't come to this one, because of course you can. And then also, if you are at that perimenopausal or postmenopausal stage and you're local to Loudon, come along to the workshop, get yourself booked on. I'll be sharing loads and loads of tips, and we can go into a little bit more about the Mediterranean diet if you like, and give you some meal examples and things like that you can use. And finally, if you know anybody who wants to come and join us, just let them know that it is the last chance now for the rest of the year, so they need to get on it. Thanks as always anyway, gang. I really hope that was useful, and have a fabulous Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.